My screen sharing is, oh, now, yes, available. Thank you. Yeah, now my screen must be visible, guys. And hereby, we have our, what's called this, word. So last time I introduced you the Microsoft Word. Here we have completed our written portion till the last time. So right today, we shall take our discussions to, it is called Introduction to Data Mining. Can anybody help me with what do you mean by mining, at least? Not the data mining, mining. Most of you are from oil and gas. Give me a vocal answer. Do not write. Somebody has given a chat. Yet, okay. Somebody said I'm ready. No worries. So, anybody would like to answer mining? I'm only asking the mining, not the data mining. If anybody is damn clear about when do we do mining? Okay. If we say you have this bunch of coal field, say you have a coal field. So if you mine the coal field, mine means digging, digging, and digging. So if you mine the coal field, first of all, you will find the coal, you will find the coal. But if you find the coal along with, say, precious metals, what then would be the scenario? So coal is in itself a fuel, means it helps to become a fuel. And then in spite of that, if you are able to find the diamond too, if I am correct, that if you are able to find the diamond too from a coal field, then the process of mining would make you rich. But for that, you have to be patient enough such that something good could be mined. One second, let me open the field. It's getting this. Yes, thank you. Here from what we are about to study in data mining, said there's a data of any kind. It could be a video, it could be a images. You may consider it as a text. Yeah, somebody want to say something? Ramesh? Ramesh, anything to say? Guys, if you are not speaking to me directly or the class, please mute yourself. Yeah, thank you. See, if you are mining the things, let me hide it. If you are mining the data, and believe me, data means everything in today's world. Whether if you are doing your WhatsApp, whether you are on a social media like a Facebook or Instagram or a Snapchat or whatsoever, whether you are filling the survey, whether you are say marking the entries in a cloud, whether you are writing an email to your client or a boss, or what type of activity you are associated along with the internet. Are you getting the thing? Internet associated activity that creates a data. And mining the data for a meaningful insight is actually the process we are supposed to learn today. Is the objective clear, guys? What we are about to do? Yes or no?
Yes, clear.
Yeah, thank you. So, but there is an industry rule. Most of you, if you would have heard about, we call it CRISP DM. Has anybody heard this term, sir? Crisp DM. Yes or no?
No.
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 Okay. No worries. What happened? 1 second. Crisp DM. This M must come upside only. Let me delete it. I don't know why it has come down. Crisp DM. See, this crisp means it is called cross industry, CR for cross, I for industry, S for standard, P for process. Cross industry standard process for DM for, can anybody guess DM from our topic itself? Is the topic data mining.
Data mining.
Very good. Data mining. So see the beauty of this line. It is says cross industry means whatsoever is your industry. The industry could be the what we call financial. The industry could be an IT, or it could be a say heavy load industry, or it could be automotive or oil and gas. Any industry, the process is standard, means there is a thumb rule which you follow in your industry, which shall remain uh, unchanged, unwavering, whatever happens throughout the small processes. But here it they say, whatever is the industry, mind it, you were doing the job or you are doing the job where in an industry the process is thumb rule, but this says whatever is the industry, the process remains the same. Means it is the generalization which is applicable to any industry. Again, a bigger version. So there are actually six phases of crisp DM. What may I call? Data mining, I'll only say DM. Data mining. Now, whenever I say data mining, I will call it consider it as crisp DM, because if there are phases, the phases are same for all. Okay, phases would remain same for all. So the first phase says that you understand the business understanding, business understanding. So you have to be very clear that means you have to choose very wisely what business are you in and what are you going to support. Like you must know the objectives, that what are the objectives to be solved. Like suppose right now I am working for any government project where I have to find that what week of the day and what time of the day, so sorry, what day of the week and what time of the day I want this service to be placed to an optimal place such that the productivity is maximum. Are you getting what did I say? Say I'm working for any government organization where they want me to optimize their services, whatsoever is the services, I won't name here, whatsoever be the services could be movable or non-movable. So what services to be placed at what location such that whatever the profit was coming, either it should increase or it should optimizes. So have you understood the objective of business? Similarly, you must be in a oil and gas business, or a say training and teaching business, or a say sales business. So your objectives are optimizing the sales. So once the objectives are clear, then you should understand then to meet certain objectives, what are the assessments to be done. So I am writing it as assessments. 1 second. What are the assessments to be done? Assessments could be situational, like sometimes you are supposed to do the assessment based upon the situation that has aroused out of uncontrollable parameters, like say COVID occur. So in the COVID you were required to shift to a platform or to a situation or to a, say, way, the methodology such that the business should run, but the things got changed. Similarly, say if I go for industries which are in, say, training and teaching, they have to adopt or adapt towards what's called online learning, the blessing of which we are now right in front of each other. So that has, this is called situational arrangements done. So that's called situational assessment. And there is one more assessment, you may call it, which are regular assessments. Regular assessments means that has to be done whether something happens or do not happens. So like we used to have a preventive maintenance for any machine. When we run it, we have a regular evaluation of the machine, whether the occasion happened or do not happen, whether there is a extra heat or less heat, whether there is a cold or a rainy season. Hence a preventive maintenance is a regular assessment. Am I making sense?
Yes.
Thank you. Then I go for, then after such objective is defined, situational and regular assessments are well given a space for, we start mining. Mining means searching through the data, because sooner the business is understood, objectives are clear, you should know where from you get the data. You say if it's a sales, you either get the data from the first party, means the business where from the sales has to happen, or you may seek the second party or third party data. Sometimes the data comes from the customer which do the survey. So such data has to be done, and such a process of fetching the data is called mining. So after the data is being mined, we actually develop, or we actually produce project plan. Project plan. Because once you have known the methods of the finding the data, all the assessments, objectives, now the planning starts, that how to execute any project or the business, what the stakeholder has told to you, and what are the steps doing that. So you must have seen that the money gets released when the project is executed in stages. Have you ever seen that? When the, say, if you are having in a project of solar installation, so when the solar plate is being purchased, one set of the payment is released. When the solar plates are being, or must I say solar panels are being uh, installed, or must I say where the holders which hold the solar panel, they are installed, second set of payment is released. Then the solar panel are installed, third set of payment is released. Then the earthing is being done, and the associated metering is being associated with the what's called grid. Then the last amount of payment is done. So such plans, irrespective of the business it is, so they produce the project plan. So this is the first phase of, out of 6 phase of crisp DM. Any doubt in this? Yes or no?
Clear.
Yeah,
Clear.
thank you. Thank you, sir. Second thing is, see, right today I'll take my discussion to a theoretical, because from the last 7, 8 classes, I have already taken so many uh, coding classes, such that you have done along with me some many a times, and fewer times you have done it in the background or at home. So right today, the time has come when I introduce you to the, how the, what type of data are there, and how it is being mined, and how we can directly, or must I say swiftly, shift towards the types of data mining and the machine learning, whether it is supervised, unsupervised, semi-supervised, reinforced, what are the types we should know, and then again jump back to the coding portions. So that's why I thought to take this topic today, such that the broad understanding is created in the brain, then we call the data understanding, because sooner the data is being available to you, project plan is being created. So whatever the data is either received, or see, you can either receive the data from the first party, or you have to scrape the data while means while doing the web scraping. So data understanding is very important, because there are types of the data which you should know that how the types of the data could influence your business and the decisions. Can anybody help me with the, because from the last so many days we are learning around data. Can anybody help me with this types of, what are the types of data you think about in life? Give me any answer you know. You are free to answer. Nobody is penalizing anybody. Please come up.
Yeah, numerical data and graphical data.
Okay, one thing I heard, Janji, graphical data. What have you told before that?
Numerical data.
Numerical data. Okay, numerical data. Very good. Any other type of data one is aware about? Badam Shrikanji, you want to add something to it? And all of you are welcome, undoubtedly, because I understand that you have seen a numerical. Okay, do you remember from our Python class that if the data was not numerical, what is the D type return? Can you retrieve it? Whenever you say the data is non-numerical, what is the data then? There are possibilities when the data is not numerical. So if I do not have a numbers, what else may I have, Badamji? Any idea?
Object data.
Object data. So you call it categorical. May I call it categorical? Yeah, we call it an object type. We call it categorical data. Categorical.
Category.
Yeah, because I'm here to refine your answers. So this categorical data are again the type of category it belongs to. It might be string. String means the characters, the array of characters, like you write your own name, your address, your nationwide address, or whatever, alphanumeric mixture, categorical data. Or anything which is not at all numeric, it might include the equations also. It might include the equations. So, like if you write the equation x square plus 4x plus 7 equals to 24, okay, 24y, suppose. So it contains numbers. It also contains the variables. Hence, we call it alphanumeric things. So it is again a categorical kind of thing. So, so such type of data you have confronted till date. But right now, I will give you, along with this, even more detailed kind of data. We call such things as, say, where right now in the daily life, you must be doing certain transactions daily, either using your UPI, credit card, debit card, net banking, or a cash. So may I call such type of data to be transactional data? Yes or no?
Yes, yes.
Makes sense.
Yes, thank you. Transactional data. So, and whatever be the data which is being already occurred in the past, we call such thing called historical data. Now I'm not saying type, whether it's categorical, numerical, graphical, or whatsoever. If it is past, it is historical. Then, as you said, we have one more category. We call it numerical data. Numeric data, usually numeric data. Then we also go for location wise data, sir. Location wise data means, say, suppose you if most few of you are in a oil company. So oil company usually seek the location where from the oil could be fetched, whether it's offshore or onshore. So when the location matters a lot, especially in the sales, that where to open the shop, such that the sales is optimally achieved. So we call such type of data to be demographical data. Demographical data. So based upon the parameter criteria, we have distributed the data. Similarly, we do surveys. We do survey. So such type of data are called questionnaires. You must have given most of the time questionnaire, especially in your organizations, or many a times YouTube asks you what type of ad you have recently seen, or you might have done a questionnaire or survey with respect to the Google Forms. So such type of data, transactional, historic, numeric, demographical, survey. So these are called types of data. Inside them, we have the either, now I'll change the color. We have either qualitative data or a quantitative data. Quantitative data. When we go for qualitative data, means we cannot measure it. We call the qualitative data to be categorical in nature. Categorical data. But when we go for quantitative data, that has to be numeric. Yes, very good. Numeric. So in the numeric, we again have discrete, because a numeric could either be discrete or a continuous. And this categorical data, I'll make this arrangement to be here. This categorical data could be, you may call it a, again it is divided into nominal data and ordinal data. Remember such thing, but you shall remember at the end of the lecture, because this is the beauty of such things. What? Nominal data. Any idea about nominal data? Have you heard somewhere these terms, yes or no, or the first time we are visiting through such things? Is it the first time we are visiting such things? Nominal, ordinal? Okay. See, whenever the term nominal comes now, always remember the keyword, which is called no order. Like just says na order in a courtroom. So always remember there is no order for nominal. So no for nominal and no order here. So always remember the no word here. So no order means which do not have any order. Say if I ask you, how many genders exist majority in the world, you will answer me male or female, and right now we also add transgenders today. So maximum, if I say gender, would you be able to order between the genders? This gender is greater than the other gender. Can anybody do this?
No.
You can, because they exist, they are as it is. If I ask, say in India, I'll talk about my country. In India, we are having 29 states. May I order them? They exist, they have no comparison. So there are 29 states, they exist independently at a specified location of the mother India. So hence gender, or we call the states, name of the states must I call, states names, or the nature kind of thing. Color, there are say 7 colors. So there are 7 colors, you may form more colors, but you cannot give comparison to the color. So there means they exist as they are. But when we go for ordinal data, if I change the color for you, when we go for ordinal data, we go for comparison. So here nominal means no order, no comparison. You may also call it no comparison, but in an ordinal do comparison, or the data types or the data which are comparable called as a ordinal data. So like if I take the feedback from you, if I say give me a feedback, so you have a comparison between me, other trainer, or the other trainer. So such comparisons are usually done on the scale 0 to 5, 0 to 10, likewise. So whenever you have a comparison kind of data, believe me, you have to give in a numerical format only. Feedback, the quality of the product. If I say what is the quality of the product, you say good, bad, very good, excellent, poor, very poor, satisfied, likewise. So although you have given it in a form of category only, but you were able to compare. So are you able to see that we can actually divide our data into so many forms, whereby these are the majority? Because as the nature of the data, so does your separation, or so does your categorization. Okay. Similarly, if I go for now, change the color. Yeah. Say if I go for quantitative data, Hassan ji, please mute yourself, Hassan. Quantitative data, quantitative data. So here I'll ask, I've already written that it's a discrete as well as continuous data. Can you give me continuous OUS? Would you be able to give me the examples of discrete and continuous data? Anyone? Somebody message me. No, no message. See, discrete means it exists at a different locations. You cannot give it in a floating manner, or must I say, you cannot give a decimal digit to it. Are you getting? Like it should be integer. Let me write it here. It should be integer. Integer means only a number. So if I say, what's your age? So you may call 42, you may call 24, you may call 19, you may call 39. So see, you cannot write 42.5, can you? Have you ever tried? No.
Yes, no.
Because discrete ages are discrete. Similarly, if I say what rank you are in, what rank, either you are at a higher rank or a mediocre rank or a subordinary rank, but it is not a mixture that no, a part of my rank belongs to the major, part of the rank belongs to the lieutenant. No, not at all. It cannot happen. Your rank is discrete. It is a fixed quantity. So your rank, your age, such kind of things usually comes under discrete values. Similarly, if I go for continuous thing and I ask, my dear Joseph, what is your weight? So may I expect yourself, you give me an answer of 62.5 kg. Yes or no?
Yeah, we can give it.
Yeah, because it is having such a nature. Similarly, if I ask all of you that what is your height, nobody would be having a perfect height of 5 feet, 4 feet, 6 feet, or 7 feet. Everybody would be having a height of 6.11 feet, or must I say 6 feet 11 inches, say 5 feet 9 inches. So we used to give things in continuous manner. So wherever the floating digits comes, now I may assume that you understand what is meant by float, because we have done so many programming. So integer means no decimal, floating means with a decimal. So such things are to be kept in mind. But along with that, I have to increase the number of pages. 1 second. I'm increasing the pages. Along with that, we are having quant,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Tell me, sir.
quant qualitative data, which
No,
contains.
sir. They said maximum 2 hours, sir, for replacing time. They said
Badamji, please mute
2
yourself.
hours. No, yesterday I talked with this Lingapan, sir. Generally, it takes 3 hours, but they will try to fix.
Ji, please mute yourself. Yeah. People are doing their office work. Good. See, so if I just draw such thing, say, so such type of data is usually called transactional data. I have to, because this represents the time versus the value of appreciation of the stock or the depreciation of the stock. So here the stock is appreciated, here it is depreciated, again it is appreciated, appreciated, a bit depreciated, appreciated. So value change with time is usually called transactional data. Can you give me the live example of transactional data in the real world while visiting this graph, while watching this graph? Any idea?
Stock market.
Stock market. Thank you. So stock market. I have given so many times such a analogy. So such kind of data, along with being a transactional, we also call them sequential data in the language of machine learning. So we also call them sequential data because it's coming sequence wise. And why sequential data? Because the factor of time is being included, my dear. Here we have a time, and hence sequence. In the sequence of time, say if you have created a day graph, so such say this belongs to say day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, and likewise day wise data. So in the sequence of days, the data changed. So we call it a sequential data. And because it is actually reflecting the purchase and the selling, means the trading has happened. So transactional data. If something would have happened, we would have called non-transactional data. Say if the similar graph would have come for weather, that is not a transactional data. That is the observational data. So, but we would call it a sequential data because it is occurring with time. Understood? So see, we have seen so many things. Let me give you a brief. The crisp data mining, where the cross-industry standards processes, which are remain same irrespective of the industry. I have not yet sticked to any of the industry, but yet they are followed in every industry because the business, every industry is doing the business. Every business has its objectives, situational and regular assessments, mining of the associated data, preparing the project plan. Then whatever the data has to be mined or the scrapping, these are the categories in which that data has to be distributed in. And we understood that what are the nominal, ordinal, categorical, quantitative, survey, demographical, numeric, historical, transactional data, along with their examples. And right now we are entering to a phase of a data set. We call it a strategic data. Strategic data. Anybody like to give me this context? Where do we use the strategy? Yes.
For a mission.
Yeah, for a mission, we can say we do means whenever we want to execute something, whether you want to plan your travel to a new city or a country, we do the strategies. We, especially as you said, Mathai, when we are on a mission, we do strategy. We go for plan A, plan B, sometimes plan C. If it does not work, all the, what should I call them? Uh, Defense people without strategy, they do not put a step outward. So whereby, let me write them. When we go for mission, very good, then we go for policy making. May I say policy making? Because policy making
Yes.
is a very crucial thing to strategize the thing. Because whenever the new government is formed, they they change their strategy based upon the local people, or based upon the locality they are intriguing the things. Then we go for decision making, as I given you the example of defense. Decision making, and decision making happens everywhere. So say suppose if I have to perform over certain show, then I have to create the strategy that how to perform, and what would be the costume I would be wearing, what would be the dialogues delivery, what would be the what may I call, background music, BGM, and entry timing, strategical data. So such type of data we call under the category called strategical data. And note it that we store such data in a data warehouse. In the coming future, we shall learn what is data warehouse, because first of all, we are required to learn database and then the data warehouse, because all the data mining happens within data warehouse along with database. It actually happens in database which has access to data warehouse. So wherever the strategical data are found, we call such places a data warehouse, not a database. Data warehouse. Like you have warehouses for the inventory to be placed. So hence, similarly, we have the cloud spaces where the data has to be placed. So we call such things a data warehouse. Fine, understood? So we are still on the second phase. The third phase looks for data preparation, because we have seen that what is the data, we understood the type of the data, and we decided what type of data is required for our business objective. Now you have to prepare the data. And I believe we all have learned thoroughly that what are the preparation steps. Okay, what does anybody understood from the data preparation? Any rough idea I would like to take, guys? Abhijit, Abdauji, anyone? Yosef, Samson, Mirajuddin, Mathaiji, yes.
Separating the useful data for our use.
May I call that cleaning?
Yeah, yes.
Okay. So before cleaning, sir, we go for importing the data, as we have imported the data sometimes from Kaggle, many a times like a .csv file to the Google Drive. And now, from now onwards, we would be importing the data from database. So importing happens from website, then from database, many a times from local machine. So we
Yeah,
import the data, yeah, which is already available. Then after the data is given to us, we go for cleaning the data, as we see that uh, are there number of rows not having any values, missing values, zero values, then nan values, not a number, we call it. So cleaning the things like that. Similarly, we have another stage called transformation. transformation. We go for transforming the data using either logarithmic transforms. Okay, why is entering multiple times? Logarithmic transform, or we do scaling. Like say, if you would have attended my machine learning classes, there we have discussed about the scaling. Say we have a distance, and one distance is having in a kilometers, when one distance is in a centimeters. You believe it or no, the machine learning algorithm will give a higher preference to the kilometer distance rather than a centimeter distance. And such things are called biasing. Okay, biasing, because that is more biased towards a greater value, not a smaller value. Hence, we scale the data such that the biasing factor is removed. Am I understood? Why does the transformation is required for the data? That everything comes under a same thing. Like when we go to the schools, when we used to go to the schools, we were usually wearing the uniforms. We were not allowed to wear the clothes of our choices, such that the unanimity happens. The transformation should start. We see the our peers not as a rich guy or a poor guy or a middle family man persons. Okay, so we have done the transformations to look in a similar posture, or sorry, to look in a similar uniformity, such that that factor should be removed from the mind and only the learning happens. Are you able to relate between the two? Yes or no? Because this is a very important step I am dictating to you. Whatever is happening to the human brain, similar thing is happening to the data also. How do you feel? So similar output you can see from the data also. Then we call integrating the things. Integration, there are so many names to given to integration. Integration, you may also call it orchestration, if you have heard such terms in data analytics. Orchestration. Okay, so integration or orchestration means that you have received the data from various categories, whether it's a data of multiple data types, then it's a data of say few data is images, one is numeric, another is text, few are speeches. So different types of data, so you have to integrate and orchestrate the data at a one place and perform the formatting. So this is the step to be understood and executed. First, we import, clean, check for any missing values and such things. Transform the data such that machine learns them better. Before let the machine learns, we actually integrate on a single space. We call it orchestrator. And with the help of data warehouse and database, we integrate the things at a one place, and then we format it to be further given to the model creation. And as the model creation has come, we can see that our fourth step is called modeling. Modeling the means creating the model for whatever the data is being received. So if you have been to the previous classes, there are techniques for model creation, which says that whether it is a supervised machine learning, unsupervised, or it is a reinforced. Okay, supervised, unsupervised, reinforced, semi-supervised means some data is supervised, some data is non-supervised. So we call it semi-supervised. Like for few of the tasks, you have a supervisor, and for few of the tasks you don't have a supervisor. So like such things, when we are able to do the things independently, we call it unsupervised. We do not need a supervision. But if there is a need that few things either at a testing portion or at a raw stage, if required, we call it partial supervision is required. and hence the term semi-supervised has come. So thereby we actually generate the data. So generate the issue, if you have been through my classes of machine learning. So when we go for supervised machine learning, we say we are having a labeled data. Labeled data means every column, say you have 5 features, all the features are given a name, whether it's a, say if you are going to purchase a property somewhere, so you have a location, you have the length and width, you have the nearby facilities. So these are called labels given to you, and you are predicting something. So supervised machine learning. When no label is given, no label, we call it unsupervised machine learning. Here cluster formation happens, clustering happens. Reinforced means you must have seen the YouTube. It gives a recommendations. If you have seen one thing, all the videos will come of the similar nature. You must have observed this. So such thing is called reinforced or recommended based learning. Semi-supervised will have few rows as labeled, few rows as non-labeled. So labeled and no labeled, both, or we also call it a hybrid. So such kind of things are to be done in modeling, and modeling happens over the data. Yes, over the data, whereby they take the data, they divide it into two forms. One is called training data, another is called testing data. You train your model with 70 to 80% of your data, and you test your model from 20 to 30% of your data. So this data, training data, is called, the model has seen it, model has witnessed it, model has learned over it. But this testing data here, this testing data, the model has not seen it ever. So we call such data to be unseen data. So model has to be tested over it. Like if I ask you to read an NCRT and I give you, NCRT means NCRT books, and I provide you the question paper from some other book. So the NCRT portion would be called the training set, and the alternative book would be called as a testing set. So whenever we go for checking our abilities, we are actually testing ourselves. So whatever we have learned from whatever resources of the internet, websites, uh, videos, or human experiences, means tangible experiences, we are going to test them. So such testing, say suppose if the same question comes, whatever we have learned in the model, or whatever we have learned from the resources, we would be able to give the 100% correct answer. But if the testing is actual testing, the question must be modulated, and hence the question must come which the brain has never seen. Then only the real talent comes in, or the real person is selected. So the similar approach is being carried forward to the data also. So we apply certain these many steps. People are joining at the last moment also. I don't know whether to allow them or no. Okay, no worries. So they are called machine learning modeling. Fifth is, we call it evaluation. Evaluation, because you have to do, after doing the model, you have to evaluate them. So such evaluation I have already discussed in the testing portion. So we have a procedure, we call it cross validation. Cross validation, where we actually divide our data set into three parts. One part is called training. Third part is called, sorry, the second part is called testing, and the third part is called validating. So while training, And say suppose three things are means it is being divided into three portion, one, second, and three. So first time this portion this portion will be treated as a training portion. Second time, in the second iteration loop, this portion of the data set will be treated as training. And in the third time, this portion of the data set shall be treated for training. And the other portion will be treated as testing and validating likewise. Are you able to get it, what I'm saying? So from a same data set, in the first loop, we have taken a 30% of the data or 40% of the data to be training. In the second loop, another 30% of the data. In the third loop, another 30% of the data. And so you increase the number of loops, so you also increase the training percentage. So likewise, such things happen. And finally, after evaluation, one has to do the deployment, which we call it UI, UX, user interface, user experience. User interface and user experience. Like if you are being asked to create a website which supports e-commerce, electronic commerce, like Amazon, Flipkart, Alibaba. So such user experience has to be given in a website or application or app. So this is a very different portion of the study. It's called deployment. We will more focus upon till 5, means we have started with what's called business understanding. Then we have seen the data understanding. The third was the data preparation. The fourth went with data preparation. After this, fourth went with modeling. Yes, fifth went with evaluation, and the finally we had deployment. So these are the 6 stages of data mining. We have actually mined the data such a way that when an output is predicted by the model should make sense. If you are only predicting the model whether the given sample contains a cat or a dog, that must make the sensible output. So for that, such 6 steps are damn necessary. And believe me, you belongs to any industry, it hardly matters. If you follow these 6 steps by-heartedly, you are done. Any doubt to anybody at any stage? Please ask. Stopping the sharing of this screen at least for this time. Don't worry, this notebook shall be shared with you via the Athira and the Eduwing Education Management. I'll be sharing with them. I used to share with them after every class. So if you have any question, please ask. If not, do come with your visuals, video, such that we can take the beautiful selfie of all of us. Ravi, Samson, Mirajuddin, Badamji, Abhijit, Jainji, Muhammad Azam, Muhammad Suleiman, Yusuf, Ginyai, Faisal Ahmad. My God, such a beautiful people are here. Used to laugh. Guys, please laugh at life because nobody knows when other people would laugh at us. So at least laugh at yourself. Okay. Don't mind my words. Na? I'm likewise only. Okay, let's create the good environment at whatever place we are in. Thank you so much. Gunia is making a guide of thing. Very good. So do go for Fazal. We are done. Thank you. We are done with today's data mining introduction, and most hopefully I shall be taking exact data mining in the Python in my next class. Say suppose I'll start with text mining, how to treat text type of data, because we have unseen so many numeric data. Yes or no? So many numeric data, but we have not yet seen the text data. So be prepared, be ready for it. So don't miss the classes. It's a request. Okay. So all the very best. Bye-bye. Take care. Good night. Enjoy with
Bye,
the family.
everybody.
Bye.
Bless you. Compliments
you.
of the seasons.
Yes, yes. And very happy New Year.
Happy New
Happy New
Year.
Year also, sir.
Yeah, yeah. I forgotten that's a New Year has come.